Hi everyone, thanks for tuning in to Bluegrass Home and Garden TV. It's officially spring, so of course I invited Kate to join us and give us some nice spring inspired menu items. I don't know if everybody else is like me, but once I kind of in my mind think the weather has to change, everything is changed over, my taste and my palate kind of changes too. Like I expect more fresh, flavorful stuff, even though I'm looking at some of the ingredients. I use those all year long, but in my mind, I'm like, no, it is warmer weather. It is spring. We have to have all the freshness.
Lighter ingredients, and also I like quicker things. I feel like in the spring and summer because I want to be outside. Like I want to be having fun outside. I don't want to be cooking. So today we're doing kind of takeout inspired dishes. So these are going to be like 15 minutes or less. Lots of light, fresh flavors. So we're going to start with some shrimp. It's a tongue twister. Shrimp spring rolls or salad rolls, as you would call them. And these are like 15 minutes to come together. They're light, they're fresh, they're crunchy, they're crisp, they're delicious. So,
well, I mean, you got cilantro, so I'm in. So.
Yes, that's like whatever
I know that by now.
Always add cilantro. So we're gonna start with the shrimp, and really it's just a couple of ingredients. I'm just going to have you add some soy sauce.
Okay.
And then we're gonna grate some ginger in there. I'm gonna chop some garlic and green onion, and we're gonna saute all of that together in a little sesame oil, and that's gonna create kind of like a, I don't know if you've ever had like P.F. Chang's, like their lettuce wraps or lettuce, you know, the little roll like that you fill with like the chicken lettuce. I think they're called lettuce wraps. They're so good, and again, that crunch of the lettuce with the protein, it just feels fresh and light and delicious.
Well, I love ginger.
Ginger, yes.
Yes.
And this is one of those things, I know you love garlic too, so you can add as little or as much as you like. So if you just want to grate like an inch of ginger in there. And then the green onions, you want to do the white parts, and then we're going to actually save these green parts for garnish. And then I would do 2 to 3 garlic cloves. Obviously, cooking with you, you know, we're gonna do 3.
We can do it the normal.
And essentially the soy sauce and all this ginger and garlic and a little red pepper flakes, that's just gonna kind of quick marinate for the shrimp, and then we're just gonna cook it for 2 minutes or 3 minutes in a skillet. So it's really, really quick and easy. So I'm gonna have you, oops, there goes one enough? Yeah, I'm gonna have you probably give it a little whack and then you're done. And we'll get the garlic in. So I'm gonna have you actually chop the garlic, because the last thing I wanna do that can sit for a few minutes is I'm gonna pickle some carrots. And that's gonna add kind of another, you know, depth of flavor, and again, a nice fresh crunch. And there's nothing better than quick pickled carrots. So I'm just gonna take shredded carrots and a little rice vinegar and a little sugar and a pinch of salt. And that's just gonna sit for like 10-15 minutes.
Am I mincing this, or am I?
I like thinly sliced, because we're gonna cook it, so I feel like, you know, it'll all get, that good garlic flavor will get in there. And again, you're cutting it nice and thin to kind of give it that surface area.
All right.
I'm
not as quick of a slicer.
That's okay.
As Kate is. All right, so I know we got to take a short break. We'll be back here in just a few, right?
We'll cook it up and continue moving.
Smells good. Jimmy McKinney, the Skinny, is with us with Jane, our construction. And we're out at one of your jobs. It's in progress.
Yep.
So I know you're going to give us some before pictures so people can see what this space looked like. But ultimately, this is a bathroom that you're redoing, right?
Yep, master bathroom. So as you'll see, you know, coming in, setting up and the protection of the area, you know, most of our master bathroom remodels in the bedroom, we want them to move out if they can, because, you know, you're walking through plastic and you'll see all the pictures and stuff that we do. But we take care to plastic off that area, so we kind of contain everything to our space and stuff. But yeah, they had it was a 1990s home, you know, your typical tub, acrylic shower. You know, it was time for an update, and a lot of people are getting rid of the tubs and going to just a larger, more functional shower. As you can see behind us, we're in progress, and the systems that we use behind the tile allows us to give all of our clients a lifetime warranty on our tile work.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so we do a 5-year warranty with all of our work, and then with tile work, we do a lifetime warranty. And that is transferable if you were to sell the house and things too, so.
Yeah, I'm looking here at your threshold. I mean, a lot of this is probably, you're seeing a lot of people probably move away from traditional tubs, because as we age, you know, they can become a risk for slipping balls.
Yeah, and we do a lot of, you know, curbless showers. Used to the construction, you'd have to get into framing and a lot of other things, but the products we use with Schluter and that system creates that curbless entry now. And we're still going to have glass and a door and stuff here, but it creates that no-step entry. So as you age in the home, you can, you know, if you can't do steps anymore. Most people still have steps coming in their house, but you can easily add ramps and things like that. So
how long does a project like this take?
It depends. So we've got one of our contractors that is doing most of the work, so it's going to go a little bit quicker. But most master bathroom remodels take about 2 months. And then what we've run into here recently, though, has been we've had a delay with shower glass.
Okay.
So we've had some that have, because they can't measure for this glass until the tile work's done.
Right.
So when the tile work's done, then they come and measure specifically, because we take the companies that we use will actually cut into the tile and recess the glass. So there's no clips or no track or anything like that. It is
all nasty.
truly frameless. Some of the frameless glass still have clips and things like that. And of course you have the hinges for the door and the hardware. But so between template and install, lead times were 3 weeks. They went to 9 weeks. And so sometimes it's one company, it's the glass lead time, some it's the hardware. So that's usually the thing that's left to do when we're done with the project. We're waiting on the glass.
But education is key. I mean, everybody needs to know that. So we can set realistic expectations of the people we choose to do business with.
That's the key.
All right, how can they get a hold of you?
You can call the office in Lexington at 225-0162 or go online to jrcsi.com and you can message us there.
We are back.
Smells so good already.
Oh my gosh, yeah. So sesame oil.
Sesame oil is going in. Yeah, so we've got the soy sauce, the shrimp, the green onion, the garlic, and the ginger, and that essentially is like giving it a quick marinade. We're gonna cook that over medium heat for like 2-3 minutes, just until the shrimp's cooked.
Am I good?
Yeah.
Just go on in.
And I actually like kind of chopping the shrimp up because it cooks quicker and it's also easier to eat. So while you do that, I'm gonna make the sauce that goes on top. So I love to put a little sauce on my lettuce wraps. I just feel like it makes them a little more special.
Oh, it's smelling so
I know. So I've got some more soy sauce and some rice vinegar. So that's gonna add a little tang.
I love rice vinegar.
And then some sriracha for some spice, because you can't have any sort of Asian takeout without a little kick.
Now, do you mainly let this just sit for a little bit and then kind of flip it over?
Yep,
Okay.
it should just take about a minute or two on each side. So I'm gonna stir that, and then we've got our carrots are still quick pickling. And then to go on top for garnish, we're gonna do a little green onion. I like to cut it on a bias just so it looks pretty.
Presentation.
Yes, it's always about making it look. And again, you can make this dish faster than you could go get carry out. And that's kind of what I want to show you. Is it doesn't have to be complicated to have really fancy, pretty food at home. And then same thing with the cucumber. We're just gonna add thin slices of cucumber. And cilantro, we'll just tear that, so that'll be easy.
Okay.
And then for the lettuce, I like to just take sort of the outer layers, so you can use the inner layers for salad.
Okay.
So you just peel, and I've got romaine lettuce. You could use butter lettuce too, which I actually would prefer, but the store did not have any. And then I'm just gonna kind of stack them up and cut this part off, and you can use this for salad, or I'm gonna give it to my chickens. And then this is what we're gonna fill, which these ones are...
They struggle, but that's okay.
This one looks good.
That one does look good.
And then once the shrimp's done, we're just gonna kind of assemble it and we're ready to eat. So again, 15 minutes or less, and you've got a delicious kind of takeout inspired.
My kids will eat shrimp, they'll eat cucumbers, they'll eat cilantro, so I feel like this is one that I could get them to do for sure.
And I kind of kept this simple, but you could add bell peppers to it, you could add sesame, you can add, again, this is sort of the base, and then you can add whatever else you want. I would put pickled jalapeno slices on top, because you can't have enough heat in my world. But yeah, we'll just finish cooking this shrimp, we'll get these all assembled, and we'll move on to the next dish.
All right, stay tuned.
Hi, Richard Weber here at Springhouse Gardens. Welcome to spring. It's time for not only great plants, but also time to think about mulches. We've just gotten in a wonderful shipment of bagged mulches, and here in Central Kentucky, I like to use a lot of pine products because our soils are so alkaline that adding that pine helps to supplement our very alkaline soils with something that makes it a little bit more acidic. So we use a lot of pine bark mini nuggets for landscaping. We also use pine bark mulch. We also use pine soil conditioner. We also use pine straw, and we also use pine bark nuggets. So I was going to just show you, we get a lot of questions about what the differences are on those. So we'll start with the finest thing first. The finest is the pine soil conditioner. And this is what we recommend for adding to our soils here as we're planting. So this is a really great pine, very fine pine. Basically they are called pine fines, and there's a little bit of sand added to that. We use that to break up our clay soils. Some people really like the look of that super fine texture, and they'll use that not only in the soil but on top of it as well. Probably the next one is going to be the pine bark mulch. So pine bark mulch has a little bit more of the actual bark itself. And these are just about the size of your pinky fingernail. So they're not really big pieces of bark. The next one in size is going to be what we typically use the most of in our landscape installations, just because people like something that's not going to break down as much. So this is what's called a mini nugget. And these can vary in size from about the size of a nickel to about a quarter. Sometimes they'll be a little bit bigger. It just kind of depends a little bit on exactly how they were processed, but we like that smaller sized nugget. But then there are a few people that still really like the large nuggets. And these are the biggest ones that you're going to find. So a lot of people like that for a very rustic look. So these are some of the best choices for mulches. One of the things to remember about pine products is that they do tend to float. So if you have a downspout and you're using this and the water tends to puddle, these things will float and can wash away a little bit more than some of the other mulches. So you do have to be aware of that. But these do last a long time. They don't degrade as much as, say, a hardwood mulch would. And we're going to be talking about hardwood in the next segment. But if you're looking for something to help with your hollies, magnolias, rhododendrons, azaleas, this would be our first choice for your mulch. And maybe pick one that you like the best and try them and see how you like them. If you don't like them, you can always just kind of work it into the soil, and it makes a great soil amendment. And then you can change to a different mulch at a later time. So if you have more questions, come out here and see us. We got lots of mulch, and it is mulch madness. So it is time to think about mulching your gardens here in Central Kentucky. So for more information, you can call us at our garden center at 859-224-1417. Until next time.
Thanks for keeping me here. The hardest part of this is not wanting to eat now.
It smells so good. I mean, all those flavors
it.
just like pop. So if you think that is going to be delicious, I think you're going to like what we're making next, because it also has cilantro. And actually, I was just thinking, as I was staring at this lettuce, the inner parts of the lettuce can be used for this recipe. So if you buy a head of lettuce, you kind of got two ideas. So another takeout inspired recipe. This is sort of like my take on like a crunch wrap. So without like the chips inside, but essentially we're going to take turkey, which I'll have you add the turkey to the skillet. We've got a ½ pound of just lean turkey. We're going to brown that up with some fajita seasoning, olive oil, some Celtic salt, and red pepper flakes. And I'm basically going to take that turkey and we're going to add a couple other little fillings, and then we're going to kind of roll it into a shell and sear it off, and it's going to get crunchy on the outside. So this is kind of another fun takeout inspired meal at home. So we're just gonna brown that up, and then you got the I added red pepper flakes.
Yes, I got the salt, I got the seasoning, yeah.
So while you do that, I'm gonna start working on kind of the fillings. So we're gonna do tomato, classic like, taco fillings, tomato, lettuce, cheese. So I've just got some Roma tomatoes here, and I'm gonna dice them up. I'm gonna do some green onion again. So yeah, and you could really, this is again, another one of those things where it'd be a good family-friendly meal, because you can make all the different fillings and then let everyone sort of build their own.
I like to get the dishes that almost like they're made for, you'll see them at parties where like they'll have all kinds of the fruits around it, and then they have a dip in the middle.
Oh yeah,
I use that for what we call our Taco Tuesday. So like this would be like, so you're talking about with all the fillings and everything. That way you don't have just a ton of different bowls, but you can actually use that, and then
That's a genius idea. And then, if you have a party too, like that'd be a fun theme party where everyone sort of builds their own.
I didn't come up with it. My mom did. I have to give her credit. Yeah. I did not come up with it, but I do use it.
I mean, I'm impressed. I've never thought of that. And yeah, I love doing, again, when you're trying to eat healthier, I have so many clients who are like, well, I can't make this because my kids won't eat it. Well, if your kids don't eat tomato, don't put tomato. It's fun to come up with dishes that can be, you're making one meal for everyone, but it can be kind of adapted to fit everyone's needs. So I've got my green onions.
Those tomatoes smell nice.
I know, they do, and it's not even tomato season yet. I can't wait until they're in season. And then we're just gonna take our lettuce and kind of thinly slice it. And then I'm just gonna get that cheese grated, and then we'll be ready to sort of build our little crunch wraps.
Yep, almost got it good and brown here.
Yeah, it smells really good.
All right, well, we'll be back here in just a few, and
almost time to eat.
All I keep dreaming of is daffodils and spring and going outside and play. So I'm going to introduce a little bunny. So spring is coming. Easter, guys, is pretty early this year, so you better get ready for it. So we're going to take this little container, and I'm going to make a little drop-in bouquet. I always stuck on this idea that you don't have to turn your house upside down, and you don't have to do that much work, but how to make little moments without working really hard. So that's what this one's about. And this would sit on, I see it on the bathroom vanity, for example. So love me a good hydrangea. So I'm going to cut it off. Okay. Now, I've already cut some of these little bundles that we sell at the store. This is called a ranunculus. So I'm going to kind of layer them in there and have it kind of, I don't want it too far down in there. And I'm going to keep them all bunched together. What I try to do is take things and almost like gather it, and it's manipulated in like bundles. So I'm not going to have a little ranunculus here, here, here. I'm going to keep them all together. But also notice they're kind of loose and flouncy. Look at that. That's sweet already. Now, love me a good little tulip. And again, holding that together. So it's kind of bundled together. Let's put two of that, all that. So this is kind of my back side. And now I'm going to have some tulips coming out the front side. I got to cut all this off in a minute because it's got to be pretty darn small to fit in this little guy. Okay. So I'm going to pull those toward the front, kind of a little droopy, and those are standing up in the back. And I'm going to have some textures of greenery, and this is our lamb's ear that we sell here at the store. Tuck that in. Look how beautiful that's becoming. I'm going to add this bright kind of limey green leaf to it. Let's see. Let's do my last little piece. Cut my price tag off. Okay. So basically, if you look at that, it's a little bouquet. Okay. So I've talked about this before, but those who don't know, I love me a good zip tie. So literally, I'm going to take this and bundle it all together very tight toward the top. Get my glasses on because I can't see. We're going to zip tie it together. Okay, make it tight. I'm going to take my wire cutters and pull it a little and cut it off short in the flat part toward this. So I'll cut it off so it doesn't leave a little piece of it sticking out so it won't cut you. So now I got to cut all this extra off. Okay. So now, pull my tulips toward the front, fluff it up a little bit, and make sure you see my little rabbit down in there. And look at that sweet little bouquet. And he's kind of just tucking out. So I would put that in my little bathroom as a little moment, set it on, on some books on the coffee table. But how easy is that little drop in? And it's starting to have spring coming to us. So come and see us. It's housebyjsd.com online or 1148 Industry Road. Thanks, guys.
All right, we are back, and we've all been having conversations in between all this that you've not seen or heard, talking about this right here.
Yes, so this is lavash, and I like this. You could use a tortilla if you can't find it. I actually found this at Walmart, so it's actually pretty, you can find it anywhere.
There you go, Walmart.
But the reason why I love it is it has 12 grams of protein per.
Love it.
Which is amazing, and it has fiber, because it's got flaxseed in it, and some whole wheat and oats and all of that. So a little bit kind of more nutrient packed than maybe a flour tortilla.
Yeah, it helps stabilize the blood sugar.
Yes, but you could totally use tortilla if you can't find it. Okay. And then we're just going to fill it. So I'm going to have you put some turkey, so just put about half of that in there. So essentially this whole, what we've made here is going to make 2 servings, so we're just going to make 1 right now. And then from there you just build. So again, this is what you can, put your tortillas down for the kids, and you want to kind of keep it all in the middle because we're going to fold in everything. Then I'm going to add tomato, and I'm going to add some lettuce, and then I'm a big fan, I know I've talked about this before, of seasoning every layer. So we've seasoned the meat, but we haven't seasoned the veggies. We don't want bland veggies. Then we've got some green onion here, and of course Amber's fave, some cilantro. We got lots of that. And then cheese, and I'm gonna put the cheese on the top, because as you cook this, it's gonna help kind of keep it sort of together. It's the glue that's gonna hold our crunch wrap together, and there you go. So it's kind of like a quesadilla, but a little bit more fun maybe. And then you just want to take it and sort of fold it in. And the one thing you want to make sure you do is buy these and do it within a couple of days, because I've had mine for about 5 days now, and they start to get a little they start to crack. I don't know. So you want to do them when they're real fresh. And then we just want to put it seam side down into a skillet, and I've got it over medium heat with a little spray of avocado oil. And then we're gonna sear it on each side and it's gonna get crunchy. So
there's a popular pseudo-Mexican place.
yes, that's
that
where I
has
got the
something
idea.
similar to this.
That's where I got
that
the
shall
idea.
remain nameless.
Yes, yeah, take it.
Because when you were talking about like crunch wrap, I was like, what?
Well, I think they put, and I've never had one, so I'm not probably the best person, but I think they put chips in theirs too, and that's why they call it a crunch wrap. But I made my own version a couple days ago, and I did tuna, like tuna salad, and like a tuna melt kind of with arugula, and I did it, and I was like, the crunch of the shell is really satisfying. So,
And you used what kind of?
I like avocado oil. You could use.
Because we're doing higher heat on this. Okay.
Yeah, you could use any sort of oil spray. You could use olive oil, but I like using a cooking spray because it helps to control the amount. So we're not getting a ton of fat from, drizzling olive oil in there.
I tend to go a little heavy on the oil.
Yes. And then from there, you just want to kind of push it down and then keep an eye on it. And this has been, our pan has been heating for a while because we talked a lot. So typically it takes a little longer, but that's what you're looking for, is see how it's all kind of stuck together. So we're just going to finish cooking that and we'll be ready to taste everything.
Well, I'm just super excited. I like food, if y'all can't tell. And I love things that I can take home and get my kids excited about.
Yeah, I think both of these would be options that they'll enjoy.
Absolutely. All right, we'll be back here in just a few. You all stay tuned. Well, Jimmy Nash is with us. If you remember, we were here before, probably back in January, looking at this house, and now we referenced it before. Now we're actually looking at the ground that's being broke today to make the barndominium.
It's not the typical barn that you would see, but very modern, kind of contemporary looking. It's really nice. So this is its own 6 acres here, and we'll have a road that will come down and a bridge. And this pond that we put in, we'll be pumping water up to a creek that we're making, and then so water is always running through the 2 bridges and along the creek and back into the pond.
So what are you most excited about with this barndominium?
We're using a cedar cladding on it, and we're doing a vertical shiplap with it. So it's going to be different, and so that's kind of that modern look too. So we get to use a couple different materials that we haven't used a whole lot, and then we have another home that we just started here that's going to have the vertical shiplap, but it's painted.
Okay.
Design.
And I'm just looking at the excavating work here. So does this have a basement? Because I know you can
It does,
do basement.
yeah. So the barndominium has a full basement, it's 3,000 square feet, and the basement is 10 foot tall. So they'll put their tractors and stuff like that,
Nice.
and mowers and gators and all that stuff in the bottom area, and then the residence on top of it.
Yeah, I'm
So it'll be cool.
just jealous of the creek and the waterfalls.
It's been
Put it all
fun,
together.
kind of put it together, and it's kind of taken shape, and you have a vision for it, and 500 or 600 loads of dirt later, it starts looking like something. So.
All right, well, what else is going on, and how can they get a hold of you? if they have questions?
So we've got, there's a couple lots that people have bought in Serenity that have come up on the market. So, we've doing 7 homes of the 18 lots. So if somebody is interested in a 5-acre lot, give us a call. We can kind of show you what those 2 lots are and how much they are and what could be built on them. And just give us a call, 859-621-8880 or jimmynashhomes.com.
It's time.
Amber's favorite time. Always.
Yes, absolutely.
So good. It smells so good. And this came together again, like 2 minutes on each side. And so both of these meals, you could literally make in less than 15 minutes on a busy
They were
weeknight.
really quick, I will say.
That's the goal. So to assemble the shrimp wraps, we're gonna put the shrimp down first. And then I like to just kind of, again, you can put out a bunch of stuff and let your kids build their own, but I like the cucumber, and I'll let Amber build her own. Some cilantro, and then we've got our quick pickled carrots. Look how good those look in just like 15 minutes. They've sort of pickled down. They're gonna add a nice crunch. They're gonna add a nice color. And then I like to add, of course, a little red pepper on mine because I like some heat. And then we've got our sauce, and this was a mixture of sriracha, some soy sauce, and some rice vinegar. And to me, sauce just adds that extra element of flavor, and it just makes you feel like, again, you're at a restaurant. It's those little touches that take simple meals and kind of elevate them up to restaurant quality. And I don't know about you, but I am excited.
I feel like I know I'm getting ready to make an absolute mess.
Excited to taste. I know we got to keep it over the plate, but look how good that looks.
Here we go.
And how do you get a little bit of everything in here? I have no idea.
I'll let you take the first bite because then I'm going to have to.
Oh my gosh. Yum. The pickled
Oh,
carrots. I'm gonna get you a napkin. The pickled carrots are so good. Oh shoot. Making them mad. How good. Yeah. And the ginger, garlic, you get all those flavors. So delicious. And then I'm gonna put a little Greek yogurt onto your little crunch wrap. You can do salsa with this too.
That had some kick too.
I know, it does have a kick. It's a sriracha. And if you're making it for your kids, you could, you know, skip the sriracha for them. But look at this, you guys.
That's pretty.
Cheers. No. I mean, so much flavor.
Never cease to amaze me, Kate. Never.
And we've been doing this for so long that every time I'm like, how can I outdo it? How can I outdo myself? Today,
Yeah.
I think it's a good day.
Oh, wow.
I know. Wish we knew
Yeah,
it better.
like that one is like a freshness overload. Like spring, like just invade your taste buds and just has a party. And then this one has so much like crunch.
Yeah, and I love
Really
that.
good.
You know, and again, there's so much protein in here. There's so much fiber. There's all the veggies. And if we hadn't preheated the skillet so much, our cheese would have been a little meltier. But
Well, and what I like is like, you know, everybody wants to eat healthier, do better. And even though, I mean, I know with, you know, a healthy passion and everything that you do, like you can track all this and stuff, but like you can eat this and not feel bad.
No.
Like, and you can eat healthy, and as long as it's really flavorful, you don't feel like you're depriving yourself.
no, and the portions are really generous. Actually, this one crunch wrap is one person's. Like this amount of
Nice.
food is one portion.
I like it.
Like 4 of these will be one portion. So I mean, obviously you filled them up pretty big, but you get a lot. You can eat a lot of food if you eat real food and you
Yeah.
cook it from scratch.
And your
again,
body
you
knows what to
save-
do with
You
it.
save so much money. Like if you go out to get this at PF Chang's, you're gonna spend $20.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna have to, yeah. Yes.
Yay!
We're gonna try these with the
I'm
kiddos.
so glad you like them.
And if I get them in it, like get them making it, they're always much more likely
Yeah.
to actually eat it.
And I find too when kids can assemble, like if they can assemble their own this or assemble their own that, like they feel the sense of, okay, I made it, now I want to eat it.
Yeah, I've even got the eldest, you know, zesting the limes and making. We
can grate the
Yeah,
carrots.
I told you, like we get a pre-made pico and then we doctor it up with a
Yeah.
lot of lime juice, cilantro, and
Pico would be
zest.
so good on this.
Yes. All
So
right.
good.
Let's tell them how they can get more information about you.
ahealthypassion.com, you can get all these recipes and more, and then katehorning.com has more information on just everything I'm up to.
All right. Well, we will see you next time for more from Kate. I've got to get to eating. See you next time.